I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what makes a great business coach. So this is going to be a great video for you if you're thinking of becoming a coach, or even if you're thinking about hiring a coach. So I guess there's, it's a commonly asked question, what makes a great business coach? And how do I know if I've got a great business coach or if I'm going to make a great business coach? And once again, I'm very mindful that you may be coming from either one angle or the other, and that is you're either thinking about becoming a coach and embarking on that journey, or you're thinking about engaging a business coach to help you grow your business, and you're wondering, well, okay, what is it that actually makes a good business coach? And I've really got 6 key things that I'm going to run through with you today when I look at all the great coaches that I currently have in my team, but also all the great coaches that I've worked with over the years, and what were some of their key attributes and what it was that made them a great coach. Well, the first thing I think that's paramount, the very first key attribute, is that they have a positive attitude. And one of the things is if you're going to fail if you don't try. And we have a saying which is the only failure is the failure to participate. And what that means is if you don't give it a go, if you do nothing at all, well, that's the true failure. And so if your attitude is one of a defeatist, of somebody who gives up easily, then you're not going to make a great business coach. So if you're talking to somebody who and thinking about bringing them on as a coach, if they have a negative attitude or they have an attitude of giving up, and it would be unlikely, these type of people typically wouldn't be attracted to this industry because coaching is about having a positive attitude and a can-do attitude. And when I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I was listening to an interview just this morning, in fact, funnily enough, but it was this woman that was being interviewed said there was one key thing she learnt from her upbringing, her growth, was that a saying, and it was that if you can't find a way, make a way. And I guess that's what I'm talking about. If you know that you want a certain thing, if you want something bad enough, is not to be beaten down and not to be beaten by somebody saying, hey, you can't do that. I mean, some of life's greatest successes, the most successful people were failures, and they were dubbed as failures, and then they went on to do great things. And I'm sure they wouldn't have done that if they didn't have a positive attitude. So a great business coach has a positive attitude. The second thing is they are empathetic. And I think this is a key attribute. Very, very big part of being a successful business coach is that you can show empathy and have empathy for your clients, which is about understanding where they are. And I've got a saying that I love, that I use a lot, and that's walk a mile in their shoes. So as a coach works with somebody, they should walk a mile in their shoes. It's easy for a coach to say, hey, what are you doing? You should be doing X, Y, and Z. But if they haven't walked a mile in their shoes, they can't honestly say they know what that person's feeling or going through, what emotions, what their roller coaster is, that roller coaster for them is looking like. So you've got to have empathy, not sympathy. You've got to have empathy, because empathy is about being understanding. Empathy is about saying, you know what, I understand how you feel, I understand where you're at. However, if you're going to get to, the results you want, get to the successful spot that you want to get to, then we're going to have to change some things about what you're doing. Now, I've spoken a bit there about their personal being, so positive attitude and empathy. Attribute number 3 is more about a skill set now, and that's about having a sound business knowledge or business acumen. And it's very important that if you're going to engage a business coach, that they actually know a little bit about business, at least the basic fundamentals. Now, the good news is they don't have to have I'm not talking about having business degrees, and some people would argue the fact of this with me, but I've been in this industry long enough, I can prove to you that we do not have to have business degrees, or we do not have to have any sort of accounting background to be successful at teaching you how to run your business better. In fact, your coach just needs to be a step ahead of you. Now remember, coaches are probably doing the best business degree they could, and that is that they're working with dozens of businesses at any one time, and they're seeing what works and what doesn't. They're seeing what's holding people back versus what's helping people be successful. So they're getting the best training they can once they're on the job. And so if you've got a coach that doesn't have a sound business knowledge, then the likelihood is they haven't been coaching very long, or they haven't had any previous business experience. So sound business knowledge is very, very important. And but once again, they don't need to have a degree. So I just don't want you to get that confused with where their skill level needs to be at. Attribute number 4, the fourth thing that I think they need is they need to be honest, open and honest with you. And this is about them being, how can I word this? About them being your unreasonable friend. So they're not going to be unfriendly, but they don't have to be your buddy. They don't have to be your best mate. They don't have to be the person that you're going to hang out with every day of the week. Because, you know, when they get too close to you, they'll let you get away with not doing what needs to be done. So, you know, it's more about having an unreasonable friend. They need to be open and honest with you. As much as it may hurt for you to hear the truth, sometimes that's what they've got to do. So it's got to be a person, your business coach has got to be a person that can tell you the truth no matter what, okay? And it's not for the sake of just being, you know, facetious or you know, antagonising. It's about helping you. So if a coach understands that by telling you the truth, it's going to help you see what it is you're doing wrong or what you could change to get a better result, well, that makes a good business coach. So you want someone who's open and honest, who's not going to be your friend. I always say to people, if you just want a friend, go down to the pub. A friend will cost you a schooner. You know, so there you go. There's my tip on getting friends. Not that they're going to be long-term friends. When you run out of money to buy schooners, they'll move on to somebody else. Anyway, it's getting off topic. The fifth attribute that I think is vitally important for a business coach is that they have to be a good listener and be great at asking questions. You know, there's a very famous saying in sales which applies to just about everything in life, and that is you've got two ears and one mouth, you should use them proportionally. And I believe in coaching it's the same thing. A coach is very different to a consultant. A consultant does telling and training and doing. A coach does asking, helping you do the discovery for yourself and the learning. Now, you know, by asking great questions, now the education came from the Latin word educare, which means to draw out. So asking questions is the best way to teach somebody something. And so you have to be great at asking questions, and of course, it's no good asking great questions if you're not a great listener. So they sort of go hand in hand. And then my final key attribute number 6. And look, this is not an exhaustive list by any means. This is just my probably top 6 things that I thought of when I got asked this question. But I think this one is vitally important. And to be a great business coach, you have to commit ego side. And what that means is it's not about you as the coach. It's not about, the coach is there to do a job. And sometimes it can be a thankless job. It's a bit like being a parent, I think. You know, being a mum, you know, my wife works hard at home to make sure that everyone's got clean clothes and the groceries are done, the pantry is full, and doesn't ever really get thanked for it, you know, which is a shame. But it's not about that. It's about providing. So the same in business coaching is making sure you provide for your client. So as a great coach will provide for your client without expecting recognition and reward in return. And that can be difficult for some coaches because the very nature of the industry attracts outgoing people that require that external recognition and reward. So, you know, I think it's vitally important if you're going to be a successful business coach that you commit ego side, you make it about your client and not about yourself. So there you go. Hopefully those key 6 attributes help you answer the question as to what makes a great business coach. Of course, always welcome your feedback. So below the video, you can leave comments, questions, suggestions, or anything you like, really. I don't really mind. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. You know, it's been fantastic sharing these thoughts with you. Until next time, have a profitable day.